Imagine walking into any room, speaking fluent English with confidence, and leaving everyone impressed. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, let me tell you, it's not just possible, it's waiting for you to grab it. Let's make it happen. Welcome, everyone. I'm thrilled to have you here today because we're diving into a life-changing journey, mastering English speaking and conversation skills. Whether you're learning English for career growth, travel, personal development, or just for the love of the language, this video is your roadmap to success. Let me remind you, English isn't just a language, it's a bridge to opportunities. With the ability to speak confidently, you can connect with people around the world, land your dream job, or simply express yourself like never before. Now, I know the journey to fluency can feel overwhelming at times. Maybe you've tried before and felt stuck or even embarrassed. But don't worry. Today we're breaking down simple, powerful steps that will transform the way you learn and practice English. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll feel inspired and ready to take action. Step 1. Believe in your journey. Expanded. Belief is the foundation of every achievement. Whether you're learning English or chasing a lifelong dream, what sets successful people apart is their mindset. Let's talk about why believing in your ability to improve your English is crucial and how you can cultivate this belief. When we begin something new, especially something as challenging as learning a language, it's easy to feel discouraged. You might think, I'll never be as good as a native speaker, or I'm too old to learn. These thoughts act as barriers, and they stop you from making progress. But here's the truth. Your brain is a muscle, and it thrives on growth. It doesn't matter how old you are or where you're starting from. What matters is that you take the first step and keep going. Think about the great English speakers you admire. Maybe it's a celebrity, a mentor, or a friend. Guess what? Every single one of them started where you are. They struggled with grammar, fumbled with words, and made countless mistakes. But they didn't stop. They believed in their ability to improve, and that belief fueled their journey. So, how can you build that belief in yourself? Start with positive affirmations. Every morning, stand in front of a mirror and say, I am improving my English every day. It might feel silly at first, but words are powerful. Over time, these affirmations will shape how you think and act. Next, celebrate small victories. Maybe you learned 5 new words today or spoke a sentence without hesitation. These small wins matter, and recognizing them boosts your confidence. Also, surround yourself with success stories. Read about people who learned English as a second language and are now thriving. Their stories will remind you that if they can do it, so can you. Finally, remember your why. Why do you want to learn English? Is it to get a better job? Travel the world? Connect with people globally? Keep that reason in your heart. It's your biggest motivator. In summary, belief isn't just about thinking you can do it. It's about taking small actions daily that reinforce that belief. Trust yourself, celebrate progress, and never forget why you started. With belief, everything else becomes possible. Step 2. Practice speaking daily. Expanded. Speaking English fluently doesn't happen overnight. It's a skill. And like any skill, it requires practice. Imagine trying to play a musical instrument or learn a sport. You wouldn't expect to become an expert after a day, right? The same goes for English. You need to practice speaking every day to see improvement. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I practice if I don't have anyone to talk to? Let me assure you, there are countless ways to practice, even if you're learning alone. First, let's talk about self-practice. One of the simplest and most effective methods is speaking to yourself. Yes, you heard me right. Talk to yourself. Describe your surroundings, narrate your day, or pretend you're explaining something to an imaginary friend. For example, you can say, I woke up at 7 a.m. today. I had breakfast, a bowl of cereal, and some coffee. After that, I watched a video about learning English. If you want to take it a step further, record yourself. Use your phone or computer to record a short speech about any topic. It could be your favorite hobby, your weekend plans, or even your dreams for the future. When you play it back, listen for areas where you can improve. Maybe your pronunciation, sentence structure, or fluency. Next, leverage technology. There are apps and tools designed to help you practice speaking. For instance, apps like SpeakPal or HelloTalk connect you with native speakers or other learners. You can practice conversations without fear of judgment. But what if you feel nervous or shy? Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are your best teachers. Every time you stumble over a word or struggle with grammar, you're learning something new. Instead of fearing mistakes, embrace them. Here's a fun exercise. Pick a topic and set a timer for 5 minutes. Talk nonstop about that topic, even if you make errors. The goal is to keep going no matter what. This exercise trains your brain to think and speak in English without hesitation. Lastly, make it a daily habit. Consistency is key. Even if you only have 5 minutes, use that time to practice. The more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become. Over time, you'll notice that words flow more naturally and conversations become easier. So, the takeaway here is simple. Practice speaking every day. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your confidence soar. Step 3. Focus on listening to improve speaking. Expanded. Listening and speaking go hand in hand. Think about how babies learn their first language. Before they can say a single word, they spend months listening to the people around them. They absorb sounds, rhythms, and patterns, which eventually helps them speak. As an English learner, you can use the same principle. Listening exposes you to the natural flow of the language. It teaches you how words are pronounced, how sentences are structured, and how ideas are expressed. The more you listen, the more your brain gets used to English, making it easier for you to speak. So, how can you practice listening effectively? Start with content that interests you. If you enjoy movies, watch them in English. If you love music, listen to English songs. If you're a fan of podcasts, find ones that match your interests. The key is to choose materials you enjoy, so listening doesn't feel like a chore. When listening, don't just hear the words. Pay attention to how they're used. Notice the tone, stress, and intonation. For example, how do speakers emphasize certain words in a sentence? How do they pause to make their message clearer? These details might seem small, but they play a big role in communication. One technique I highly recommend is shadowing. Shadowing involves listening to a sentence and repeating it immediately, mimicking the speaker's pronunciation and intonation. For instance, if you're watching a video and the speaker says, "I'm going to the store," pause the video and repeat the sentence exactly as they said it. This practice helps you develop a natural accent and rhythm. Another tip is to listen to the same audio multiple times. The first time, focus on understanding the general meaning. The second time, pay attention to new words or phrases. The third time, try repeating after the speaker. Each repetition helps you absorb the content more deeply. Don't forget to use subtitles if you need them. Start by watching with subtitles in your native language, then switch to English subtitles, and eventually try without subtitles at all. This gradual progression builds your listening comprehension skills. Finally, challenge yourself with different accents. English is spoken all over the world, and accents can vary widely. By exposing yourself to British, American, Australian, and other accents, you'll become more adaptable in real-life conversations. Listening is a powerful tool for improving your speaking skills. The more you listen, the more confident and fluent you'll become. So, plug in your headphones, find content you love, and immerse yourself in English every day. Step 4. Build vocabulary that sticks. Expanded. Vocabulary is the backbone of any language. Without words, we can't express our thoughts or communicate effectively. But building vocabulary isn't just about memorizing long lists. It's about learning words in a way that they naturally stick in your mind and become a part of your everyday speech. Let's start by understanding why traditional vocabulary methods often fail. Many learners try to memorize words without context, like cramming for an exam. But here's the problem. Without context, your brain doesn't know how or when to use those words. It's like collecting puzzle pieces without seeing the picture. They don't make sense on their own. So, what's the solution? Learn words in context. Here's how you can do it. 1. Read and listen actively. Read stories, articles, or watch videos in English. When you come across a new word, don't just look up its meaning. Pay attention to how it's used in the sentence. For example, if you learn the word resilient in a sentence like, "She's resilient in the face of challenges," You'll understand not just the meaning, but also the feeling and context of the word. 2. Create your own sentences. After learning a new word, immediately use it in your sentences. Let's take resilient again. You could say, I need to be resilient while learning English. This reinforces the word in your memory and makes it personal. 3. Group words together. Instead of learning words in isolation, group them by themes or categories. For example, if you're learning about food, focus on words like spicy, savory, bitter, and delicious. This technique helps you connect related words, making them easier to recall during conversations. 4. Practice repetition. Repetition is key to making vocabulary stick. Use flashcards, apps, or write words down in a notebook. Review them daily, weekly, and monthly. The more you encounter a word, the more familiar it becomes. 5. Engage in conversations. Vocabulary isn't just for recognition, it's for usage. Challenge yourself to use at least 1 or 2 new words in a conversation every day. Even if you're practicing alone, speak out loud and incorporate your new vocabulary into your sentences. Building vocabulary isn't a race. It's a journey. Focus on quality over quantity. It's better to fully master 10 words than to vaguely know 100. As you continue this practice, you'll notice your vocabulary growing naturally, making your speech more fluent and expressive. Step 5. Practice real conversations. Expanded. Learning English isn't just about knowing the rules or memorizing words. It's about being able to hold real, meaningful conversations. That's where true fluency comes in. But I know this can be intimidating, especially if you're worried about making mistakes or struggling to find the right words. Don't worry, we'll break this down into manageable steps. First, let's address the fear of speaking. It's natural to feel nervous when speaking a new language. You might worry that others will judge you or that you'll say something wrong. But here's a secret. Most people admire and respect anyone trying to learn their language. They don't expect you to be perfect. They appreciate your effort. Where to start practicing conversations? 1. Find a language partner. One of the best ways to practice is with a language partner. This could be a friend, a colleague, or someone you meet through language exchange apps like HelloTalk, Tandem, or Conversation Exchange. These platforms connect you with native speakers or fellow learners. 2. Use online communities. Join English-speaking groups on platforms like Facebook, Reddit, or Discord. Participate in discussions, comment on posts, and ask questions. These interactions build confidence and give you real-world conversation practice. 3. Join local events. If possible, look for English-speaking meetups or clubs in your area. Many cities have language exchange events or cultural gatherings where you can practice English in a casual setting. Tips for effective conversations. 1. Focus on communication, not perfection. The goal of a conversation isn't to be perfect, it's to connect and exchange ideas. If you make a mistake, don't panic. Most people will understand your meaning and might even help you. 2. Prepare ahead. If you're nervous, prepare a few sentences or questions in advance. For example, if you're meeting someone for the first time, practice saying, "Hi, my name is your name. I'm learning English and excited to talk with you." 3. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage the other person to speak by asking questions that require more than a yes or no answer. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like movies?" ask, "What's your favorite movie and why?" This keeps the conversation flowing. 4. Learn common phrases. Familiarize yourself with everyday expressions and conversation starters. For example, phrases like, "How's it going?" or "What do you think about?" are great for keeping conversations natural. Remember, every conversation you have, no matter how short or simple, is progress. Celebrate these moments and keep challenging yourself to have more. Step 6. Immerse yourself in English. Expanded. Immersion is one of the most effective ways to learn any language. It involves surrounding yourself with English so that it becomes a natural part of your daily life. The good news is, you don't have to move to an English-speaking country to immerse yourself. Here's how you can create an English-rich environment wherever you are. 1. Change your media consumption. Start watching movies, TV shows, and YouTube videos in English. If you're a beginner, use subtitles in your native language, then switch to English subtitles as you improve. For advanced learners, try watching without subtitles. 2. Listen to English. Throughout the day, listen to English podcasts, audiobooks, or radio stations during your commute, workout, or free time. Even if you don't understand everything, your brain is absorbing the language passively. 3. Think in English. Challenge yourself to think in English instead of your native language. For example, if you're planning your day, do it in English. Instead of thinking, I need to buy groceries, think, I need to go shopping for fruits and vegetables. This habit trains your brain to process thoughts in English. 4. Label your environment. Place labels on objects around your house with their English names. For instance, stick a note saying refrigerator on your fridge or mirror on your mirror. Seeing these words daily reinforces your vocabulary. Immersion transforms English from a subject you study to a language you live. The more you surround yourself with English, the more natural it will feel. Step 7. Develop confidence through repetition. Expanded. Confidence is the secret ingredient to speaking fluently, but confidence doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from practice and repetition. Think of confidence as a skill you build, not something you're born with. The more you practice, the more natural and automatic your speech becomes. Start with simple sentences and gradually move to more complex ones. Repeat phrases, dialogues, or speeches until they feel second nature. One powerful technique is to practice in low-pressure situations. Talk to yourself, practice in front of a mirror, or rehearse with a friend. Over time, these repetitions will build muscle memory, making speaking easier and more comfortable. Finally, remind yourself of how far you've come. Each word you learn, each sentence you speak, and each mistake you overcome is a step closer to fluency. Confidence grows with every effort you make. So keep going. You're doing amazing. You're on an incredible journey to mastering English, and I'm so proud of you for taking the first step. Remember, every word you practice, every mistake you learn from, and every effort you make brings you closer to fluency. Don't forget to like this video, share it with others who need motivation, and subscribe to my channel for more tips and inspiration.